Wait, pause. Thank you all for 500 subscribers. So very much. I wish I could talk more, but this video is kind of long, so I'm going to hop right into it. I hope you all enjoy me yapping for I don't know how long this video is going to be, so yeah, just enjoy. In our main timeline of Lucas Royale, Jones would be sent back to the island, and he would watch reality end, and then we'd head into chapter 2. But this is a different story. This is a what if. Jones enters the rift, hearing a voice he's all too familiar with, calling out to him, like a lingering doubt in the back of his mind, calling him forth to come see who he really is. Jones finally reaches the throne. He sees himself. He is the boss. The boss is him. Jones is horrified by the sight, and he gets ready to shoot, not understanding what's really going on. But the boss quells his rage and horror with a simple word: a monster. He calls Jones a monster for abandoning his friends, abandoning everybody, to play hero and try to save reality. Jones prepares to fight, not fully in control of his mind. He prepares to shoot, but the boss grabs hold of him, not with his hands, but with an invisible force. Jones is confused, shocked even. Feeling this energy, something unlocks in Jones, a hidden power that's been there, lying dormant, waiting to awaken. This is it, Jones thought. This is the make or break moment. My chance to fight back and save everything. He breaks free of the boss's control with this newfound power. Although it's not as strong as the boss, there's still slight hope for him to win this battle. The two begin to have a heated battle, going blow for blow with this new power. Jones has a slight upper hand, having a weapon beside him, but that won't last for too long. The boss grabs hold of Jones again. Jones is not aware of his life. He can't do much. He's powerless. His gun's out of ammo, and he doesn't know how to use his newfound power. Well, what can he do? He thinks. And then something clicks. He notices a reality orb is still here. Just the energy of it calls to him. He uses that to his advantage. Jones somehow finds a way to connect to the reality orb, pulling away from the boss's control, going towards it. Jones ends up back in his reality. The reality orb is still destabilizing. Jones does something crazy, something stupid, something risky, that could get him killed, even. He goes inside the reality orb, infused with this energy. The boss is shocked, confused even, not knowing what just happened and how Jones was able to do that. Never before has he even seen anyone try to fuse with the reality orb. But Jones is the first. Jones steps out of the reality orb, looking entirely different. He's covered in pure energy, and he's now something entirely new. Now they have a real chance to take this fight to the boss once more. The group continue their plan, saying that Jones is now okay, so they could destroy the reality orb and Jones returns to the first reality, prepared to fight the boss for one final time. The boss is scared, like never before. He sends a flurry of attacks to Jones, but nothing works. Jones isn't just human anymore. He's something more, something different. And the boss knows this. He can't do anything about it. He admits defeat and falls to his knees. Jones takes the throne, but not for power, but for protection. To protect all reality, including his. He now has control over the reality orb, but he can sense more. Jones then goes across all reality, finding all 6 reality orbs, bringing them back to the first reality. Jones now is the true protector of the first reality, of all reality. The hero of the story. If you're still here, thank you for watching. But we're not done yet, because I wanted to add a second part to this what if, an alternate route to our alternate story. So let's trail back just a little bit in this what if. Just a little bit, not too far. And listen to the next what if. Here you go. The boss is powerless against Jones. His attacks can only work on maybe mere humans, but Jones, he's not human anymore. He's something more, something entirely different. A god even, of pure energy, something powerful, something strong, a force to be reckoned with. And Jones knows this. He lets the power get to his head. He does something that a hero wouldn't do. He kills the boss and takes his power, his throne, everything. He then takes the reality orbs, has all the control for himself. Jones is now the one person who can stop or start any event. He is the ruler. Jones didn't realize it yet, but he started the cycle again. After he killed the boss, a new Jones was made. But Jones didn't want to lose his power. He sought out this Jones and took him for himself. He used the boss's tactic on him and worked his memory. He gave him a new identity. He made him a servant. Now, the ruler has a servant and all the power throughout all reality. Now no one can stop him. Not entirely, though. There are only two forces that could possibly stop Jones in his current state. The Protector and the Nature Gods. The Protector has been sealed away for many years. The Nature Gods are his only hope to being stopped. The Nature Gods summon Jones. They threaten to stop him if he doesn't stop himself. Jones doesn't care. He has power. What can three gods do to him? He's better than a god. He can kill these gods. They strip Jones of his power, but Jones doesn't care. He still has control. The Nature Gods soon realize this too. They slowly begin to corrupt at the dark power from his energy. Then they die. Not before their energy fuses with his. Jones is now more powerful than ever, having the power of the Nature Gods and the reality orbs all to himself. Truly still being the ruler of all realities. Now no one can hope to stop Jones, ever, again. So, what do you think? Hate it? Love it? I personally like the idea of seeing the hero turn to the villain, especially in this case. Giving Jones a massive power boost was a really cool idea I thought of, and I'm glad that this was the first episode in this series. I honestly... bad there, something happened. I honestly think that I could do a whole lot more with this, so eventually when the time comes, I will do another one of these what ifs. But we are not done here. There's just one small little thing I have to show you guys before this video ends. So, come on, let's go. You might be asking, Lucid, what am I looking at? This is a power scale. A while back, I made this because I was bored and I wanted to, do something goofy and stupid. So I decided to make this, and I eventually had a video idea using this, which I don't know if I still want to do, but I power scaled mini BR characters. And I thought, I didn't think that was going to be too good of an idea. So I, kind of let this thing dormant for a good while. I haven't seen this map in a good bit. But I decided to use it for this video. So we're going to be power scaling the characters in the what ifs, and just the base character as well. So yeah. Let me give you a quick walkthrough first before we get into anything else. The power scale. This thing has many different levels and kind of variations or whatever, but you'll see that in a second. First off, we have the first level. You have an average mortal with no abilities. This would be where Jones would be at the very start because he has no abilities. Then you have the higher up categories. You have mortal, semi-god, and god. Let's go to mortal. So each branch has multiple categories, mortal having 3, semi-god having 2, and god having 3 again. So let me explain to you how these work. So So the lowest level of immortal, aside from average, is superior. These are humans with super strength and speed. So, take Jones for example. At the start of the series, he'd be average, but then when he awakens his power in the What If, he'd be about superior level, if not more. Next. Then after he awakens his abilities, he'd become enhanced. These are humans with abilities and powers above superior level. This is where Jones would be when he unlocks his powers, but not just fully at that superpowered stage yet. Just maybe a little in between this and this. Then we have Elite. This would be where the boss is. The boss has powers, kind of past mortal regards. So this is where he would be on the scale. Jones would be about enhanced, maybe getting close to Elite when he unlocks his powers. Got a category. This category has two, and the first is Godlike Mortal. This could also be where the boss is. It really depends on how you want to scale them, which is why you have the scale to begin with. This is your opinion. I will be scaling on my opinion of how these characters are. So this is Godlike Mortal. These are mortals with godlike abilities. This could be where the boss is. Now, before I move on, you see this gray line right here. You've probably been noticing that and seeing and asking what it is. This is the branch to the Godlike Mortal stage, because some of these have branches. So this is how you would get to other stages. You kind of cut through and go to these and this. So you cut through, and if you're elite, you can cut through and go to Godlike Mortal. You don't have to become a semi-god. You could skip the semi-god category and become a Godlike Mortal. And then the enhanced just goes to this, and you just cross through. But yeah. Here we have the final level of semi-god. We have demigod. These are mortals with stronger controlled godlike abilities. This could also be the bosses. I don't know just yet because I want to scale him personally, and I have to decipher and determine how powerful he'd be during Chapter 1's end event. Here we have the final level of semi-god. We have demigod. These are mortals with stronger controlled godlike abilities. This could also be the bosses. I don't know just yet because I want to scale him personally, and I have to decipher and determine how powerful he'd be during Chapter 1's end event. Lastly, we have gods. Now, the first category is the primordial god. These are demigods who have low-level omnipotent abilities. This would be where Jones is when he first unlocks his powers after going through the reality orb. He has low-level omnipotent abilities because of the reality orb, and he is getting close to god status. Then we have a Halcyon god, a god who has medium-level omnipotent abilities. So this could be where he is when he begins to fight the boss, and he starts gaining a bit more power. Then we have the highest level of them all, Omnipotent God. This is the god who has the high omnipotent abilities. This would be where Evil Jones would be because he kills the nature gods, takes their power, so he has the highest control and all 6 reality orbs. Wait, this is a lot of information to take in. So just sit there for a second. I can put Subway Surfers on the side. Here you go. And just listen. There you go. Next small branch we have over here is the ability types. These are just what kind of abilities a person will have. They have gadgetry, superpowers, or divine power. I would say that when he unlocks his powers, he gets superpowers, and then he has divine power when he goes to the reality orb and gets voted to that. Next small branch we have over here is the ability types. These are just what kind of abilities a person will have. They have gadgetry, superpowers, or divine power. I would say that when he unlocks his powers, he gets superpowers, and then he has divine power when he goes to the reality orb and gets voted to that. Then here we have the time scale. Now the time scale just takes everything from that power scale and lines it up so that you have the start of the story, middle of the story, and end story. So we would be taking the Chapter 1 story as the complete story. We would have the end being the Chapter 1 finale event, and wherever Jones would fall in that category, maybe somewhere among Halcyon or Omnipotent, that's where he'd end off. Middle would be somewhere in the 7 god category, and start he'd be average. Of threat levels. This is to assess your character's threat level, even if they're on the power scale. Because you could be an omnipotent god, but you would be something like thug level, or maybe even criminal level, and so on and so forth. There are tons of levels to this, not too many. There's street level, town level, city level, national level, planetary level, solar level, galaxy level, universal, outerversal, and omniversal. So the highest you can go is omniversal, and lowest you can go is none or thug. Are you a thug? So you may be asking, how do you exactly power the scale of characters? Where do they come in? Enter the chips. These little guys down here are character chips. I have these devices named, so I will place these along, and these will be where they are on the scale. You'll see, it'll make sense. So you may be asking, how do you exactly power the scale of characters? Where do they come in? Enter the chips. These little guys down here are character chips. I have these devices named, so I will place these along, and these will be where they are on the scale. You'll see, it'll make sense. So these chips represent each character. This one being Jones, this one being the ruler, and this one being the savior. So let me show you where they fall out on the power scale. Let's start off with Jones. So these chips represent each character. This one being Jones, this one being the ruler, and this one being the savior. So let me show you where they fall out on the power scale. Let's start off with Jones. So these chips represent each character. This one being Jones, this one being the ruler, and this one being the savior. So let me show you where they fall out on the power scale. Let's start off with Jones. I'd classify Jones as criminal level because he works with the organization, so that gives him automatically a good bit of power and upper hand because he works with people and he's not solo. If he was solo, I'd put him at thug level. Now on the time scale, at the start of the story, he is average. He has no power. Same with the power scale. He's average with no power. His gadgetry is his weapons and guns, his arsenal, ammunition, all the guns he has, that's his gadgetry. Now let's go over the savior. The savior, I put him on galaxy level because he is holding back and he doesn't want to hurt anybody or kill anybody. So he's at galaxy level. His power level, however, is primordial god. He's getting up there to the omnipotent level, but he's still holding back and doesn't want to hurt anybody, but still can protect the people he cares about most. His powers are superpowers, because he isn't on that divine level yet, not like the ruler. He didn't kill any gods, he got power from the reality orb, so he doesn't have too much divine power, but he's still powerful enough to protect all reality. Timescale is the same exact thing. This would be the middle of the story, so this would be just about middle. I would call this middle because, there'd be a time skip maybe. But yeah, he's primordial god on this level because, like I said before, he's holding back. Last but certainly not least, the ruler. The ruler will fall under the universal category because he isn't truly out of Russell yet because he only has control over all realities. Going outside of that, you'd have to break out of those realities and go further into the multiverse. But we will get into that now. His ability types are clearly divine power. He killed the nature gods, for crying out loud. He's pretty freaking powerful. So, this is where I put him on the power scale. He has divine power. For the time scale and power scale, he is truly omnipotent. He is the one who oversees all. He is the all-powerful, almighty ruler. So, what did you think after all that? Power scale, the stories, the what if. Was it worth it for the 500 subscriber special? So again, thank you all for that. But yeah, I hope to keep doing videos like this. I kind of like this idea, even though Lucky Royale isn't too very known, and maybe arts as a whole aren't very known. But I hope to just keep doing this. I want to do more unique videos like this. So let me know if you guys want to see any more stuff like this, or if you just want me to stick to the base content, which is like the creatives and whatnot. But yeah, I will see you in the next video. I hope you guys have a great start to the new year. Cheers. I'm out.